today. Two very special guests join us live in the studio. It is Dick Leinenkugel, the president of Leinenkugel Brewing, and Paul Bialas, local author. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here.
Hi, John. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'm holding this book in my hand. This book is absolutely gorgeous. Paul, this is the third one of these books that you've done. The Leinenkugel Brewery, one of the oldest in America, and you've done a beautiful job capturing it here.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was an honor to be part of it. And this is the first book I've done that's actually a history book. So it's taking you through that deep Leinenkugel history. And if you ask people how old the brewery is, a lot of people say, oh, is it the 80s? You know, it's earlier than the 1880s, so 1867.
Dick, your name's on the book. Your name's on the brewery. What do you think of this final product?
You know, this was so fun to work with Paul, and kind of rediscovering the family history. You were told the family history through stories, but what Paul was able to uncover is just absolutely fabulous. I had no idea. One of the things that struck me after Prohibition, two of the family members, Catherine Leinenkugel, who was Matt's wife, my great-grandfather's wife, and Susan Leinenkugel-Meyer, who was a former president of the company, both mortgaged their homes to raise the money to get the brewery up and operating again. Wow, fantastic stories.
A lot of breweries didn't survive Prohibition.
That's right. About 2,000 or so came into Prohibition, 735 came out, and then we were down to only 50 brewing companies in the 1980s. Leinenkugel's one of them when my dad was leading the company through some very, very thin times. But he was able to survive, and now we're able to thrive in today's beer industry.
Now, Paul, I can assume that there is wonderful photography in this book as well, like in your past ones?
Yeah, I really enjoyed taking a lot of photographs of that beautiful brewery as well. Yeah.
It is
photobombing,
gorgeous.
Dick in the background, photobombing a couple of shots?
We had a fun one where we went up to the roof of the brewery, and I was nervous. I wasn't sure if he'd like it, and he loves it. So it was a fun photo to take, and it's in the book.
I'm using that photo now on all my social media, Paul, so thank you for that.
It's got history, it's got beauty, it's got a couple recipes in it. It's fantastic. Dick, is it nerve-wracking when somebody comes to you and says, we want to do a project like this, and you know that it's going to be so in-depth and so thorough and such a look at the company?
John, it's a lot of work, but I credit a guy like Paul because he's done it before, and that's why we commissioned Paul to help us do the book. I wrote some of the stories. Paul researched a lot of the other stories. What was really cool today was on my drive here to Milwaukee, I listened to the CD, which is in the back. My car still has that CD player, so I was able to listen to the stories, including our former employees, our former brewmasters, current brewmaster John Burrow, former brewmaster Dale Burrow, and just the great sense of family and pride of workmanship and quality that they took in producing our beers. It's
Paul,
just fabulous.
Do you have a favorite story that you uncovered, or a favorite tidbit or nugget?
One of my favorite tidbits is of Dick's father, Bill Leinenkugel, who was a fantastic salesman. And in the late 40s, he took pictures of all of his customers in all these taverns in the 40s, and they have a book of them up at the Leinie Lodge. And I did like a spread in the book where we go like 6 pages of just these photos, just these customers, and we add quotes from Bill Leinenkugel about his sales process, and it was really special. There's a lot of special areas to the book.
I'm looking at that section of the book. It's so cool because it's history, and it's not just brewing history, it's part of Wisconsin history.
Yeah, look at the faces of these bartenders and people interacting with Leinenkugel's beer, John. It's just fabulous. And that was before Salesforce.com. That was Bill Leinenkugel keeping it all in a book, and he kept notes on all of his customers, all of his bartenders, their kids, their dogs' names. I mean, it was just fabulous. And as my dad always said, the more people you meet, the more beer you'll sell.
Hey, what is this? It's a beautiful foil page. You've had it in the other books. How would you describe this, Paul?
Yeah, those are the original Leinenkugel labels in the front, the glossy ones, and then in the back we have the throwback labels. So there are 2 pages of full page of original labels, brewery labels, bound into the book.
This is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to get a couple of copies of this for people for Christmas. You can get it all over the place, wherever you can get books.
No.
You cannot get this all over. This is a
special book.
How do you get this? How do you get it?
Yeah, Leinie Lodge, Leinie.com, or
that's where you got to go.
Give us toll-free 888-Leinies. Yeah, we have them all, John. We only put 6,000 into print. We've got them all up in Chippewa Falls in a locked warehouse right now.
You got a big storeroom.
Oh, we're sending them out. The sales have been going really well.
So Leinie Lodge. watch.
weekend.
That's where you got to go.
Leine.com, Leinie.com, or give us a call, 888-LINES, and we'll take your call.
This is a beautiful book, you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having us on, Jeff.
It is 3:39 at WTMJ.